Okay, come on. No? Alright. So, hey, how's it going, everybody? Hello, this is the bear. But as you can see, he's feeling rather down today. And my dog is here with me. I just got a new dog. His name's Chief. He's a pit bull. Wait, say hi. His ear waves. Yeah, the reason as to why my buddy here is down a bit is because, well, we both had a rather bad experience in the movie theater yesterday. And yeah, it was a shocker. He took up a good 2 seats himself, put up the coaster rest. We came back from watching 10 Cloverfield Lane. Warning, spoilers. Big thing. This, in fact, is not a sequel to Cloverfield. Many people have been spreading rumors that, hey, it's a sequel, maybe it's not. Well, the ones who say it's not, they're right. Even those are probably the people who have already seen the movie and they're just saying, hey, do you know what? Just for you to shut up, it's not. Well, this is not a sequel. It's something completely different. Basically, there's just more rumors, and there's an alleged fallout. So these 3 people that you see in the trailer are in a bunker underground. So from there, let's just start with the movie. The movie starts off with what's her name, and she's packing up to some music, and she leaves a ring behind. So I guess you could say that she left. Yeah, I know, it's a sad thing. Happens. Then it cuts to her driving, and she's the idiot who stares back at her phone while she's driving at night. She stares back at her phone, keeps staring. What do you know? She gets smacked up by another vehicle. Yep. And yeah, that's what happens. So don't do it, people. In the middle of her crash, it cuts to like this picture. This is a bad robot production, and it gets loud, silent, loud. It was really annoying. It's not the way to go in your intro, but that's the way they want to do it. And then they say, oh, it's 10 Cloverfield Lane. She then wakes up in a mysterious room, kind of like the Saw movies. I swear to God, that's exactly what the atmosphere is like. And her clothes and all that stuff are taken off, oh God, and it's all on the other side of the room. So she uses this long pole that carries the bag of water or whatever, you see in hospitals, to grab her phone and whatnot. And she's like, huh, why am I here? And then, after a lot of confusion and trying to use her cracked up apple, because that's Apple for you, and it doesn't have signal, that's Apple for you. John Goodman, my man, he shows up. Rub your belly. That's right. Feel happy about that? Because John Goodman was the star of the movie. But there was something about John Goodman in this film that just did not catch up. Simply because he seemed way too dark in this movie. And it doesn't really explain why. Perhaps it's just because he's a serial killer. But we'll get to that in a later point. So he gives her food and whatnot. Says you must stay here. You cannot go out there. He doesn't really explain why, so you don't really know anything. So then he leaves. She tries to escape by finding matches in her back pocket. What do you know? And she lights up her shirt or whatever, or some sheet, and puts it in the air duct. And what do you know? She suffocates part of the bunker and her own room. Real smart. Well, that got the attention of Goodman after he gave her crutches, and she sharpened one end up with a key, okay, and tried to stab him, attack. She obviously fails because John Goodman's just strong like that. And then he sits you down and is like, this is not the way you ought to respect me because I just saved your damn life. And then you hear this loud crashing noise, and that's Emmett, another man. Can't believe I remember his name and not the woman's, because everybody is pretty much a bad actor here except for Goodman. He does okay, and well, that just means that everyone else did worse. And you hear a loud noise. He's like, "What did I tell you?" And you hear someone fighting with him, and he comes back. He's like, "You guys ought to treat with a bit of respect." Locks her up. The next day, he allows her out because they have to do something or whatever, and you meet Emmett. And he's snacking on goldfish, he wants them. He broke his arm, and the reason as to why he broke his arm is because he fought his way to the bunker. That's why it's broken. He didn't get into an accident like she did. And they go into the bunker, and you see that it's very, very nice. It has movies, TV, refrigerator, freezer. um, a working sink with running tap, an air conditioner that can cycle out the toxic air from above, and sofas and lights. It's so beautiful. And it's the life you want to live. I mean, the bunker looks super, super cozy. Board games, puzzles, and all that shit everywhere. Goodman lays down like all the ground rules where you are not allowed to go, and because the girl was so stupid to burn down her room and the air duct, he's like, I have to watch you take your shit and shower from now on because I don't trust you burning down other stuff while you're pooping or showering. But there's a lot of water. I don't care. This is also like where his main room is, so they're only allowed in there when he's there. So I guess it's another reason why. Well, after a lot of explanation and a few rumblings after a while, he starts to explain a little bit more about what's going on. They have dinner, and the dinner scene is what really, really just set me off for this movie. I'm sitting here like, okay, everything's a little tense, but alright, whatever, let's keep watching. And apparently, he does not want them to get any contact with each other, like no skin contact. I'm sorry, Bear, we can't touch each other no more. You can't lean on me. And, she notices that there's a door, a stairwell that leads to doors that go outside, and this was happening when he was explaining what was in the bunker. This is the room, out this doorway, yeah, he explains all that, and she's like, I still have to get out of here. I don't trust any of you guys, possibly Emmett, because they get along really, really well in this movie, and she does this little gesture, like this little scheme. It's like, hey, can you pass the salt? Can you give me a napkin? Actually, I meant, can you give me the pepper? And she like touches his hand, and Goodman just explodes out of nowhere after doing like this hand thing because he's annoyed by Emmett. And he's like, do you think I'm not watching you? What? How dare you do this in front of me? I'm like, okay, what the hell's the problem? I don't understand. They're not explaining any of this, and this is the main thing about the movie. They don't explain shit. Like, the only premise of the movie is you're trapped, you want to escape. Anything else that they put into this movie, they have no cutscene to it. No cutaway. They have no further background information. It's just very brief exposition. Like, Emmett, the reason why he's a downer is because he ran track or something and he didn't take the next bus because he was lazy as shit. Well, in actuality, he was like afraid or something. And the woman, main character, whatever, she's so forgettable. Everyone's so forgettable except for Goodman because you know him. And she explains how like there was like this little girl and she was always being yanked by the father or this adult. And it looked like it hurt so bad she couldn't do anything. She starts to tear up over that, and you're like, we don't feel you. We don't understand. John Goodman constantly explains how he had a daughter, but he never explains that. He gives all these excuses showing random pictures of a girl saying that was her, clothes that is hers, she used to like this, oh, this was her favorite food, man, I wish she was still here. Like, just shut up. It's not going anywhere. We all know that it's fake because your acting is so nonchalant, and there's no development. You don't explain anything any further. You're just slapping on our faces in this movie. So we already know from the get-go that none of this is real. And the stuff that is real, well, it's just boring. So, in the dinner scene, like, he puts her up to the wall and it's like, I'm gonna hit you, you have to apologize. So she apologizes, and while he was up there against her, because he's so round, I guess he didn't feel it, she actually took his keys. So, when they sat back down, and he has a bottle cap opener on the keychain or whatever, he reaches for it and he's like, where are my keys? Because he can't open up the bottle. So, So he looks at her, and she immediately like jumps up, grabs the empty soda bottle, and smashes it on his face. The scene that you see in the trailer. She runs up, and as you see in the trailer, she's trying to unlock the door, and she does close it, and she does go. But right when she gets to the second door that leads directly outside, a car pulls up. She's like, "A car! Help! Help!" And a woman comes out against the window, and she's all like infected and shiz. So she knows that's like it is real out there. Like there is something going on out there, and John Goodman yells like, "Please, you know, open the door." So she eventually does go back. They sit at the dinner table, and it's like, can't believe you did that. Can't believe you guys don't trust me and whatnot. So, what happened exactly? Oh yeah, so they have this talk, and I guess they get more on his good side. She gives him stitches, drinks some sort of vodka, and he teaches her about the way that they would always put out locks with a spray can and it would freeze it, and after a while you can smash the lock into pieces. Like, yeah, that's really smart. So then at least you know like the way that she's gonna get out, because throughout this entire movie the one thing that's in your face are locks on doors, about every other single door. So you know that that's just a thing that's gonna happen later on. After a whole bunch of exposition and like just random shit like going on the days, like they just play a lot of games and stuff. It's a montage. Turns out the air conditioning just gives out, so she has to crawl through the vent and activate the machine again, and she does. But while she's there, she steps on something, and it's like an earring. She's like, "This looks pretty familiar." She crawls up this ladder that leads straight outside, but then again, of course, it's locked, of course, and it says H scratched out from like fingernails, and she moves this like door, sliding door, and it spells help with the LP written in blood. And she's like, "Oh my god, so we really can't trust him." So she explains to Emmett what she saw and how they need to escape. So she looks back at the rubber ducky shower curtain and explains, I can make like a suit and we can make our own homemade gas mask, because he has all these doomsday books in the bunker. So they over another montage they make all this. They get the shower curtain and all that because Emmett is like, "Hey, John, you know, she could and she could, because she was in the air duct, who knows if she could have infected the shower curtain because she showered right after she came out." So he's like, "Do you know what? That's a good idea. So I'll throw it away. Here, I'll get it for you." So over time they make this, and then what do you know? John Goodman finds out that they were making something because she's not good at hiding things, and drag him over, and she's like, "I want you to carry this barrel to the bathroom," and it's a huge vat of acid, and he dumps all their tools in there, but not the suit. He didn't find that exactly, and he dumps all these tools in there, and he's like, "I want you guys to explain to me why you have this." And Emmett's like, "Do you know what? No, step down. I'm going to explain it. I'm the one who did this, and I'm really sorry." "Are you sorry?" "Yes, I am. I accept your apology." Shoots him in the face and like hugs her after your ears are bleeding from the excruciating noise from the gunshot. He's like, "It's okay. It's okay. He was gonna hurt us. It's okay. Now he's dead." You want to get out because you don't want to see this next part. And he dumps his body in like this casket, and there's acid in there, and he like disintegrates his body, so you don't have to see it anymore. So she's like, "Do you know what? I'm fed up. That's enough." So she dumps the barrel of acid onto him over the floor, and he burns half of his body onto it. And she runs and picks up the suit. After a pretty rough chase of Goodman stabbing the vents with a knife and missing her about every single time, of course, and she escapes. She puts on the suit. She gets out, and what do you know? The air outside is fine. She's outside. She's looking around. She's like, "There's nothing odd going on here." Her car's still out there. Goodman's car's out there. Her car was in a wreck, so it's not anywhere. And they're like in the middle of this open farm field with corn and shit. Well, it starts to get dark real soon, and then you notice what the big twist was. Fucking aliens. Are you kidding me? The big twist was aliens. It was real. There are aliens going around. The sound you hear everywhere, they weren't cars or a loud movie. They were actually aliens. They weren't tanks and jets and helicopters going around like they explained earlier. Like that's what they thought. They're actual aliens, and they're flying around the cornfields, and they spray this green gas, and then they like ignite it, and it turns to flames. Kind of stole that from How to Train Your Dragon, don't you think? Those two-headed dragons, one breathes gas and one lights it. That's a really neat concept, and they kind of stole it from there. Plagiarism much? So, she escapes. The bunker is then blown up because the acid got sparked up and it went everywhere. The bunker was on fire when she was trying to escape, and it exploded. So she can't go back. So what do you know? The aliens get her while she's in a car for her own safety. And what do you know? In the back of the seat is a nice lighter, bottle of wine, and a lot of paper everywhere. So she makes like one of those Grand Theft Auto shields. I don't know what they're called, to be honest with you. And what do you know? The alien ship has a gigantic freaking mouth. Like, big suction looking mouth. So she throws the shit up there because the whole thing is gassy, and she blows up the alien ship, crashes down, drives onto the street. And she's like, if you go to Boston or Houston or whatever, there's an alien attack. If you have experience in medical shit, we need your help. So she's like, let's do this. So she takes a hard left, drives, and while she's going to the city, lightning flashes, and you see like 2-3 huge ships for a fraction of a second light up in the sky. That's the end of the movie. Are you kidding me? I really, really thought that this movie was just going to be a thriller and be like, there's something out there, but in reality, it's just fine because this guy was just a killer. And that would have been pretty smart. It's definitely not original because The Village did a whole bunch of shit like that. M. Night Shyamalan, and what do you know, I give him a lot of credit. But it was so bad. And to explain the earrings that you guys see, if you guys did not catch on to it because they explained it so well, they kind of did. The picture of the girl that was allegedly his daughter was not. It was a girl who went missing 2 years ago. Turns out John Goodman was a serial killer. And it would have been so smart to make this movie only around him, that he was a killer and everything that's happening outside, he just made up. Like what if the woman was like his wife or something like that? Because he has a ring on. And what if she all the makeup, all that stuff was just makeup, and it was just they both work together. She like comes in the final act like, oh, you poor fools, and he's like, yeah, there never really was something out there. What if like the acid and all the stuff that he had was to kill him, because he pulls up a lot of knives. He has a gun next to him at all times, and oh my goodness, they could have done something else with this movie, but they had to make it an actual alien attack. So, yeah. The only thing that killed this movie for me is the fact that they did not explain anything. A whole bunch of expositions just put in your face. It's very, very annoying. There's so little character development that when Emmett died, I didn't give a shit. When the girl was about to die, I was literally thinking in my head, good, so be it. I mean, she killed John Goodman. Despite the fact that John Goodman was a bad guy, I give him credit because at least he tried something. He made you feel a little intimidated. Whenever he was on screen, you know that shit was about to go down, but he was really playing with them, but in a very serious way. Like they're playing a game and it's like, I'm watching you. I know what you're doing. I know when you're awake. I know when you're asleep. And you're supposed to like guess like what he's describing. And he's like, and it's like before he dies, oh no, I'm sorry we didn't tell you. She's like, Santa Claus. You're Santa Claus. Well, you're right. But it wasn't your turn, so I'm gonna take a point for that. Next. I'm like, wow, that really had me on my toes. But no, everybody else, plain boring. What they have to say, who gives a crap? All we want to know is see who escapes, how they escape. If they make it out okay, that's the end of the movie, right? Well, not only did they do that and explain a whole bunch of crap that you won't care about, even after they die or after they are saved, you don't really feel good or bad. You just have to know that there are aliens among us now. This movie's bad. Well, I mean, it's not good. It's bad. I can't say that it's not bad and it's not good, because you can't say it's that. So, this movie's pretty bad in my book. I mean, it's just a mess, and they could have done better, especially if they cut the fucking aliens out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Say bye. Bye. How you doing, buddy? All right. That's enough for me. I'm actually gonna watch a good alien movie like Skyline or the actual Cloverfield.